In America, people's work, it becomes a part of their personality. And certainly in DC. The most common question that you get in DC when you're meeting a stranger is, what do you do? Where do you work?
A man needs a purpose in his life. Women obviously too, but as a guy I'm saying, a man has to have a purpose. One of his purposes is, to do work or do something that changes the world. And right now I am in a limbo.
Yeah, I need to tell you something. There's a kid in my class who everybody hates. His name is Joel. Oh, he's mean.
Sally, don't be shit-talking people behind their back, okay?
Yeah.
That's
They're
not
really
nice.
mean to everybody. Well, if you should talk Mr. Werner, then I can shit talk
No. Other people have drugs and hookers. We have 5 kids. So, it's
Priorities.
just a different lifestyle. I always wanted a lot of kids. It was like, I'm either going to be a nun or I'm going to get married and have 1 million children. Like, there is no in between. He was like, no, I want 2. And I'm like, yeah, how about 7? And he was like, 4? I'm like, I can agree to 4. And then when my sister passed away, we got number 5.
Bye. I love
I
you.
only know one person who's orange.
Sally, we're not going to talk about him.
Yeah, it's about kids. It's not about us. I mean, we're adults.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
And the money we can figure out money.
Yeah.
The paycheck isn't what and just watching him, how it affects him, not having that meaningful outlet, that way that he could contribute, left him a bit lost. So we try to find things to do. It's like, oh, okay, how about you take the kids to the dentist for me? You can do the mornings, getting them off to school.
Yeah, I can cook dinner,
Yeah, trying to find meaningful ways to stay busy that's, you're still contributing, you're still valuable, you're still important, even if you're not allowed to go and do your job, you're still important.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was doing that stuff before, but she's the primary parent, so the burden with kids was on her. But because right now on the paid administrative leave, now I'm doing this. Oh, Buzaka! Got more because we have.
Yeah, they'll eat it.
And this what I got for you.
Дякую.
Your life is hard.
Yes, it is. Thanks very much.
And I got this for kids. Lost.
The biggest worry is definitely about the insurance benefits.
Yeah.
So one of our kids has drug-resistant epilepsy, and in order to keep her alive, we need to give her her medication. The risk of her missing some doses is terrifying and is very real. So we worry a lot about that. I think we worry more about that than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes.
It's going to be also. We have that flamingo. Yeah, we're still there.
Oh, yeah, the flamingo's still there, and Yard Baby's still there.
Yeah.
And look, there's 5, 1 for each kid. Gotta bury them now.
Have one skeleton.
Yep, take your skeleton. You ready?
Ouch.
Or did he bite you?
It's gonna bite me.
Say naughty skeleton.
Nice skeleton.
We cannot really have flowers over there because our dog is digging them out. So we decided just to have a little cemetery over there. Tomaki having so much fun burying stuff. And then the dog, when he's, digging something out, he will be literally digging out bones.
Or DC is going to turn into a ghost town. I mean, that's what we're expecting, because most people in DC have, work in these government jobs, and if they're laid off, what are they going to be doing? We've been getting a lot of job inquiries here, and a lot of them are from people either from the education department, health department. It's very sad to see. We were able to hire one, which was nice, who had some florist experience. How many people are we going to be able to hire, especially when there's no sales? People are being very careful with their money for very obvious reasons. They're going to, prioritize necessities. And flowers isn't one of them, It's a luxury. My father is from Gaza. My mother's from the 1948. I come from a very well-educated family, but I get to live like as if my parents didn't do anything with their life, as if they never worked hard to build a future for us. Again, when you come from a really bad situation upbringing, there's not really much that can intimidate you. It's like, what's the worst gonna happen? Well, you're gonna pick yourself up again. You're gonna find a way to pick yourself up again. Even the streets are empty. Like, seriously, there's not a single person on the street. Oh, here's one. I mean, probably shouldn't be saying that, but I'd like to see an uprising. I think Americans deserve a lot more.
So this feels personal. This feels like an attack. He got on his administrative leave, and so he had just gotten settled, and he became an official federal employee, which is really, really difficult to do. It takes years for a lot of people, most people. I had to change jobs, and then Maxim is on administrative leave, and now it's not too sure. And we're just not government employees and family members of federal employees. We're people, and we have a full life just like anybody else. As the government gets smaller or whatever the plan is, I'm not sure what the plan is, it's just to remember that these are people's lives and that people have moved from all across the country to come to DC to work, to be a public servant. Without this guiding light, why are we really here? Do we love Washington, D.C. so much? Is this the right place? Is this a forced change in our life? Ciao. I do love my own company. I don't like commuting long distances. Sometimes I meditate because, I kind of just zone out. I pray. I think about, my day. I try to de-stress. We have pushed these interests across the entire world, and people in charge of spreading democracy and capitalism and free markets and free press and human rights and women's rights, and then LGBTQ rights, just the right to live, to not be killed or criminalized just because you're a woman or just because you're gay. Now that, these diplomats and State Department employees are no longer doing that work, lots of people are left without the protection of the United States. And I think that's really scary.
Maybe I'm idealistic or naive, but I still can't fathom that, this is going to be our new status quo. Hey. The positions that I was applying for no longer existed, or I had one interview where I got to the third round, and 30 minutes before the interview, they canceled the interview. The entire field I was working in is now uprooted, and it's very confusing how to look for work in the international education, international development space. A lot of the jobs that are posted, they don't actually exist because they were posted before all of this stuff. So it's a complete mess. About a month ago, I started getting really kind of unnerved by the fact that nothing was happening for me. And I have all these skills. I speak 3 languages. I don't know. I've done a lot. I've traveled a lot. I've built programs from the ground up by myself in very complicated places abroad. And nothing is coming through. So it's very frustrating. And I don't know, I was getting kind of depressed about it. Out. Margot, leave. Margot, leave. Thank you. Yeah. Margot, leave. Baka, leave. So to be honest, this is what a lot of my day looks like. Theater has always been sort of the second job. You can hear kind of on the sidelines of the rehearsals, people are talking about it, everybody's concerned, but that's also why we come there, because it's a refuge for us to not think about all of the problems in our lives. My theater group is not for profit, and we put in a lot of resources to produce our shows, and then we're lucky if we get it back. I'm actually starting a couple of contract-based jobs teaching theater, which is really exciting, but nothing is full-time, and it's all kind of starting from scratch again. I'm kind of building my own thing from 4 or 5 different opportunities, hopefully.
You said it's like an autism thing. If they're having like a meltdown or something, if they sit on that and just spin for a while, they calm down, like they zone out. It does something to the way he senses motion and it responds to that. It just makes him chill. I don't know.
You're just a freeloader. You're not working. You're just taking.
People are just kind of waiting if anything will change.
We're not going to, in our lifetime, save the world.
It costs less to be responsible.
Not high pay, but it is a lot of work.
The money stuff, money's imaginary, whatever.
It's so much work and so much good work.
What's the worst gonna happen?
Nobody's in it for the unemployment rate by 55%. It's really hard to have a conversation.
We have no other choice.
We look at it a little bit differently, I think.
Could be worse, man.
Could be worse.
That could be better, but it is what it is.